8:35 is soon to be 8:36. As a matter of fact, in 2, 1, there we go. 24 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Mike Barrett in the studio from Barrett Insurance.
Hold on, I'm syncing my watch. I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I am well. We've had a wonderful stretch of weather. Man alive, it's been nice.
Yeah. I like the little tease that we get this time of year. A little, not necessarily a big old thaw, but at least letting us know what above 30 feels like, which I'm okay with.
Well, Mark has been joking. We've had a teaser of spring.
Yeah.
Changes tomorrow night.
It does. But, let's look at it. It's been a pretty simple, easy winter. I mean, other than the formulation of ice a little more than we'd probably care to have, more ice in the walkways and the driveways. That seems to be the new pattern of winter. But otherwise, it's been pretty decent.
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to have, hopefully, knocking on wood here. Everybody's cussing at us now because we've talked about it, but we haven't had much ice on the rivers either.
No.
Okay, insurance. Ins and outs. That's what we're here to talk about today. What you got on your plate?
So, once in a while when I'm talking to folks and I'm having a dialogue, I get, oh, that's probably something I should talk about on the air. So this is one of those things. When your situation changes, and I'm not talking any specific insurance, I'm talking all insurance, but when your situation changes, it's really important that situation change, you think about whether it would impact your insurance or not. And if it does, make sure you make the change with your insurance.
Situation. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about
simple ones.
Well, your mailing address changes.
Yes.
You got a new car.
Yes.
You're no longer married.
Yes.
You just got
or you
married.
are married. Yes.
Okay, so these are the situations. All right.
These are all things. These are all changes in your life. Believe it or not, more people than not, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say it that way, maybe. That's probably
a lot
bad
of
statistic,
people.
But a lot of people fail to report address changes to us. And I'm talking, if you have a P.O. box or if you decide you want to go from your P.O. box to having it physically mailed to your house or vice versa, we need to know about it so we can get the mail to you because it's detriment that you get your mail.
Is that due to the fact that a lot of people are doing all their stuff online and they just don't think about it? Or?
No, this is not new.
Okay.
This is not a new thing. This is something that's been around forever. So something as simple as an address change, make sure we know about it. If you have a renter's policy and you're moving from one apartment to another, absolutely let your insurance company know about it because you only have 30 days of coverage at the new place until it's non-reported, and only up to 10% of what you have for total coverage would apply.
Oh.
So you're really putting yourself in harm's way by doing that. Plus, you don't really have a lot of liability coverage. There's a lot of ugliness that can happen there, and you don't want to find out how ugly it would be if you have to file a claim without reporting a new address.
Well, as somebody who has never owned a property in my entire life and having only been a renter, I guess, probably like a lot of folks out there, I got renter's insurance. What's the matter?
Yeah, you have renter's insurance, but it specifically lists a location.
Exactly.
And that's where the coverage is for. So if you move, make sure you have your policy move with you. Let's talk about some other things. Let's say you decide you want to do a home business. Well, that could impact your insurance pretty well as well. There's business exclusions on homeowners policies that you can buy back the exclusion through a specific business home business endorsement with many companies, or maybe you need to get a separate business policy. But either way, you want to make sure you're covering those exposures if you're selling things or having people come to your home and things like that.
We've talked about that actually once or twice before when you talked about somebody getting some chickens, they wanted to sell the eggs.
Yes, you're selling eggs with your insurance is not going to automatically cover that. So somebody claims they got salmonella poisoning from your eggs and they want to go so far as to sue you, you're going to have to lawyer up, and your insurance company's not going to be behind you because they don't automatically cover that. Now, there are some companies who will say, oh, incidental farming, yeah, we will cover that, but they have to specifically endorse your policy, and it's going to cost you a little bit of money to make sure you have that coverage.
Well, and we have friends that have their own businesses, like a photography business, which is obviously operated out of wherever they live, whether it's a home or an apartment.
Yep.
So that would fall into that criterion as well.
Yeah, it would. And luckily, a lot of the folks who do photography, they tend to go out and get business owners policies, which would cover their equipment and things of that nature. Whether it covers their professional liability is a different story. That could be another conversation for another day, but something that we would want to talk about as well. But, let's say, for instance, you decide, I love dogs. Look what Jeff's doing up at Off the Beaten Trail. He's just knocking it out of the park. I could do that too. So now you go from having a home to having a home with kennels and dogs. Whole different rigmarole. There's going to be companies that won't even like that will not want to be with you. So they may non-renew you once they discover that that's the case. Or let's say you decide to put a trampoline up, even though you're with a company who doesn't allow it. I'm not saying we're Big Brother, but, or get a dog that's on the unacceptable list. There's a million and one things that can impact your insurance unknowingly to you. So those are the ones that aren't so big, that we should probably know about it, but the ones that can be of detriment to your policy are certainly things like that. People who go, well, I'm moving out of my house and I'm just going to rent it to a buddy. Well, they still have a homeowner policy. And a homeowner policy is meant and only allowed for homes occupied by the owner of the home. So the second it becomes non-owner occupied, it's no longer eligible for a homeowner policy, and you could be running the risk of having some exposure there because you should have either a dwelling fire policy, which is what we would use in that case, or a business owner's policy to cover the fact that it's now a rental property.
So if Joe doesn't want to sell his house and he wants to use it as a means of income, like you used the example of renting it out, he just goes and buys a new house.
Yeah.
He can't do that.
Well, yeah, now you have two homeowner policies.
You can,
but it's not proper. And it's like you always say, my commercial that we run, or our commercial that we run, always says the worst time to find out how good your insurance is. That's not just saying an insurance company itself. That's saying the coverage that you've insured that you've got in place. You don't want to find out that what you have is not the right stuff when you have a loss. That's the wrong time to find out. Something as simple as you decide to become a pizza delivery person. Do you know that every auto insurance company out there says no to that?
I didn't.
They can exclude it. There are some companies that, for those who deliver rural mail, we have some companies that have a specific exclusion for somebody who's using their vehicle to deliver mail. So if you become liable and you're delivering mail, you better hope that the post office is going to kick it above you because you're not going to have coverage. So, it's just the list goes on
or
on.
Don't take out somebody's mailbox.
Yeah, drive carefully. So,
well, as we find with our chats, and this is why we get together, there are so many variables that we could go on with a long list of things here.
I could put everybody right back to sleep very quickly.
That.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Some are driving into work still. So look at the clock.
Yeah.
All right, so tell them how they can get in touch with you.
Sure, you can give us a call, 748-5224. Visit us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, online, thebarrettagency.com, Google, Facebook, and YouTube, all Barrett Insurance Agency. And real quick, last week we were honored to be able to give a community grant to Faith in Action here at Lindenville.
Excellent.
So Cooperative Insurance, one of the companies we represent, they have a grant program. We applied for it with Faith in Action. It got awarded. The deal is if it gets awarded, the amount that the cooperative pays, the agency that requested it matches. They were awarded $500 from Co-op. We matched it with $500, so $1,000 for Faith in Action here in Lindenville. So
that's
we're
awesome.
Very pleased to do that last week.
Well, they do an awful lot for folks with their free food shares and stuff. So
and if you haven't stopped in there, what a beautiful facility here in Lindenville. I've never seen it until we did the check presentation, and I was very impressed.
Well, thank you to Barrett Insurance.
Yes, happy to do it.
All right, enjoy your week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Absolutely.
All right, coming your way, we've got music for you from Selena Gomez. Right now we start things back off with Imagine Dragons.